Hello to all our WXN friends out there. This is Sherry Stevens, the CEO and owner of WXN. And it's that time of year again. It's the season for Canada's Most Powerful Women Top 100 Awards. And I've invited a very special guest with me here today who can tell us firsthand from one of our partners' perspectives. Her name is Melanie Fatouros-Richardson. She is the Vice President of Communications and Government Relations for Skip, aka, I'm just going to say that I know you like Skip, but for anybody out there, it's Skip the Dishes, but we're calling it Skip,
Formerly known as.
formerly known as. So thank you so much. We are so proud to have Skip as a national platinum partner for Canada's Most Powerful Women, top 100 in the food industry. So this is a new award.
It is.
Yeah, 3 years?
No, just the past 2 years. It's our second
This is the
year.
second year?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So sorry, I thought there was three in there, but that's right. There's 2 years. So it's exciting for us because it is a very specific industry. And the food industry is a male-dominated, typically, industry. So it's nice to see these chefs and these women in food services and industry winning these awards. So before we get into the questions, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Of course. As you noted, I'm Melanie. I work at Skip. I've worked here for the past 6 years. I've been lucky to grow a lot of my career here and lead a lot of teams, and including that is our sponsorships and who we work with. So we're extremely proud to work with WXN, and we're really excited about our new award category introduced last year. And we loved being at the event, seeing all of the winners, and we're really excited to really increase the representation of women within leadership roles in the food delivery industry.
Wonderful. Perfectly said. So I have your LinkedIn profile up on my screen here. I know I was looking at it. I'm going, you've worked at Skip for 6 years and you've been communications manager, director of communications, head of communications. Now you're vice president.
Yeah.
That's top 100 material. No, honestly, have you ever thought about it? I'm
I'll, I'll,
embarrassing
have
you,
to
aren't
look
I?
into, I'll have to look into the nominations. I'm so focused on our award when
I know you are, but
really,
I think you should look at it, honestly. When I looked at
no,
it, I went, okay.
I know I'm sweating now before I even go into it. No, I'm so proud of how I've been able to grow my career here, and I myself have had male leaders almost exclusively throughout my time here, and I'm so proud of Skip and how they uplift women and women leaders within this organization, and how the trust they put in me to grow alongside the company and grow my roles and my teams under me.
Yeah.
And a fun fact, I lead a team of all women as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
That's
do.
wonderful. I didn't know that.
Yeah, under
How many are in your team?
12.
Wow.
I
Okay.
know.
You are definitely top 100 material. Like we got to talk seriously. Good for
I know.
you,
No,
though,
I know.
Melanie. That's
But
great.
yeah,
And
across all of my portfolios. So we lead internal and external comms here at Skip. Our corporate work have recently taken on workplace and our government relations activities as well. So proud of that fact. I like to put it out there always.
good for you. I love hearing that. And I love hearing, we can't really devalue men and how they influence our journey in our careers, right?
Yeah.
I've had mentors that are men and they have done so much for me in helping me, move forward in my entrepreneurial journey, right? So I'm glad that that is the way it is at Skip, and we need to remember that they're our allies and they do help and support us along the way.
I completely agree because I've had the opposite experiences earlier in my career. So to come here and, working, I report directly to our CEOs and our CEO and have had nothing but support and encouragement. And yeah, I'm very lucky, but it's sad that I know how lucky I am in that case because it's 100% not the case
It's not
for some
always the
women, if
case.
not most, and even myself earlier in my career.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I'm happy
Yeah.
about that. Okay, so we're going to get on to the questions. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. So my first question is, what would the world look like if more women were recognized for their leadership and their impact?
Perfect. When I was first thinking about it, I was really thinking, I was going really wide, but I think I narrowed it down. And at its most basic, I think it leads to more visibility. So it leads to more visibility of female leaders, which in turn really can create a stronger role model for others that are maybe in the beginning of their career. I
Mhm.
think it would also lead to women having more influence as they're recognized, which, in turn leads to that, I think more diverse decision making when we have more women leaders in the room. But I think it can lead to more resilient teams. So, as I was noting earlier, at Skip, I've had the privilege of leading an all female team. So, I've seen firsthand how women bring maybe a fresh perspective or a new way of tackling a problem.
Mhm.
It also, in my experience, leads to a more open culture, and it can really help you balance a personal life and a professional career. So, I have two girls, 9 and 11, and if someone on my team has, to leave because there's an emergency call from school, or they're working from home and their door bursts open and their kids rush in during a meeting, so that doesn't faze me in the slightest at all. And that can be really freeing for a lot of
Yeah,
women. So
it's
it can
real
be,
life, right? It
it's
happens.
real life and
Life
it can
for
be
humans, things happen, right? Like,
100%.
yeah,
But if you don't have that representation, it can be
exactly.
harder to, you feel like you have to hide certain parts of yourself from your work,
Hmm.
or it leads to, excessive apologizing. I'm so sorry that happened. I'm so sorry I had to leave. But if you create that open culture, it's a really freeing thing.
Hmm. I love it. Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, the next question. Our awards celebrate the bold accomplishments of women across the country, but their impact goes far beyond that. Can you share how a single nomination can create a ripple effect?
I think a nomination, it can bring like a rush of pride. So it just, you feel proud of yourself, with a lot of people don't allow themselves to feel that way. And I think that pride, it can create change. So it can shift the way that someone sees themselves, and or for others, it might really validate their impact, be like, I have worked hard to get here. I have, done all that. And when you really see it laid out on a page or read out loud in an award ceremony, it just brings that rush of pride. So
Yeah,
I,
I got goosebumps you talking
I
about
know,
that.
um, it could even lead to like that validation, though, the validation side of it. So I know firsthand experience, earlier in my career, I spent so much time second guessing myself before maybe contributing to a conversation, which, was a lot of missed opportunities for me. And I know a lot of other women might hesitate to speak up because they feel like they don't have all the answers. But if you have that, external validation or that reassurance in yourself, it
Mhm.
can really, make a swing in someone's confidence.
Yeah, even have that community around you, right? The
Yeah.
sisterhood of the top 100 and just that support and encouragement and inspiration alone, right?
No, I
There's a
agree.
ripple
And
effect right there.
I agree. And when you look at, our awards focus on the food industry,
Mhm.
we know that less than 10% of businesses are women owned within that industry. So, celebrating female leaders and helping build momentum, I think it can genuinely make an impact on equality within the food delivery industry.
I agree. Perfectly said.
Yeah.
Right. My last question. What message does a nomination send, not just to the nominee, but to the world?
I think I touched on it a bit before, but I think it's that acknowledgement. So it's acknowledgement of maybe a career's worth of hard work. Maybe you're halfway through your career, but your career thus far, it says like your impact matters, your work matters, which I think is so important for people to hear. it's a public acknowledgement that that
Yep.
work matters and that you're moving the needle in your
In a
industry.
big
So
way. Yeah.
yeah, especially in those sectors, like I touched on, where women are still underrepresented, like food or tech. I think
Skilled
that kind of
trades. Skilled trades is another one. Yeah.
completely agree. So
Yeah.
it also puts new role models in front of like a younger generation, and it can really like shape the way that maybe someone in the beginning of their career thinks about their own career projection, and maybe grows the scope of what they believe that they're capable of.
Yeah.
They
I
see
agree.
they see someone else having that success and they think, why not me? I could do that too.
See, you should say it to yourself.
Yeah. I'll
And
say it to my
I can
daughters.
be a top 100 too.
There you go.
I'm not going to let up, right?
No, I love it. I'll apply, Sherry. Of
I have one more question. Is it okay if I ask you another question?
course.
You have time?
I do have time. Yeah.
Okay. So our theme this year for the top 100 is called Rise Boldly.
Mm,
So can you share a time when you had to rise boldly in your career?
yes, I'd have to sift through probably. Let me pick one for you. Um, I think in moments of very intense change, or in moments where there's a lot of intensity. So, I think of some of my communications challenges I've had, or throughout my career, and I think that is really opens up for a lot of change. So it really just like, I think they say fight or flight, but
Yeah.
it's almost like grow or shrink, right?
Yeah.
If that
Yeah.
opportunity is presented in front of you, it really just gives you that opportunity to show up. And if you're comfortable and confident in your workplace or your leaders, it like empowers you to make that decision. Because even if there is a fail or a miss along the way, you really have to put yourself out there for that change.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I know that's not very specific, but you know,
Okay.
maybe some I can't share the details of
No, of course you
externally.
can't. I understand. That's okay. I understand completely. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing
yeah,
that today.
of
I appreciate
course.
it. And thank you for being here. And, we really appreciate Skip being a sponsor, our partner for the top 100. It means a lot
No,
to us.
we love it. We have so much pride in our partnership. I myself was able to attend the event last year with our four winners in our category, and it was,
Yeah.
I'll say, it was fun. I had a fun, champagne brunch was so fun, the reception, but it was also really moving. And there's a moment during your reception where, the door is open and all of the winners enter the room.
On the
I
red carpet.
I was beaming. I didn't know that was part of the evening's agenda. I was just beaming. I loved it. And everyone having their moment. And we're talking earlier that rush of pride. I had pride in all of the winners. I can't even
Yeah.
imagine what they were feeling, but seeing everyone up there was really moving and
Yeah.
powerful. So,
Flying our.
yes.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this year's event as
Yeah.
well,
Me
and
too.
seeing all the winners.